Hey, y'all. Happy Tuesday. We back up in this thing today. And today I want to talk about being bold and having this fear of judgment and just being like incredibly resilient. I think like this morning, I was like kind of getting ready for my week. Y'all know the past couple of weeks been in, but I got some really cool stuff playing and stuff in the background. Y'all know how it is. And I was just thinking about like for this new season of my business, like how bold I have to be. Like, has it ever showed up for you? Like, it's a season of life where you have to be so freaking bold in order to go to your next level. So I want to kind of talk about what that's showing, how that's showing up for me in my business. You know what I'm saying? So happy Tuesday, friend. We back up in this thing today. I don't have my Red Bull. I should have went to Walmart and got me one, but I'm gonna go get me one later because Tuesdays are normally my long days because I have Conquer Club tonight. But yeah, I ain't got my Red Bull today. Mm. But anyway, happy Tuesday, y'all. Being bold in your business, what do you think about that? How does that show up for you when it's time for you to be bold? And I want to talk about how does being bold like showing up for me, right? Gotta turn my TikTok live on. So when I'm having to like be bold in my business, that's showing up in a lot of ways, right? So I don't know if you're a girl like me and maybe you speak inside your business, but for me, being bold is like going boldly after speaking opportunities. And speaking opportunities, I would love. Not no love, it's a time and place for everything, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Being bold in your business, like accepting your new clients and being bold enough to ask for your new clients. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it sounds easy to say, it sounds easy to talk about, oh, it's time for me to elevate my audience and stuff. But when it's just you behind closed doors on those calls, changing their price and stuff, you got to be ready for it. Like, you have to be incredibly bold. And I just think that that's just showing up for me in this next season, this idea of just being bold and being resilient on another level for real. So happy Tuesday. Let me know in the comments what you're going to be conquering this week inside your business because y'all know our big thing is we don't ever want to get to Friday and be like, where did my week go? Where did my week go? Right. So even if that means bare minimum, so we have a bare minimum framework where a child, if it's one of those weeks where life is life in, you can still do your bare minimum, with us and stuff where you don't just completely quit on your business. And we can talk about what that'll look like in terms of being resilient. But of course, y'all know we also have a framework where week to week, day to day, showing up inside your business using the ICE framework for your content, which is this really cool mix of personal branding plus business. And then also making sure behind the scenes you are selling, conversations, connecting all day long behind the scenes. Okay. And then the last thing along that is that you're focusing on community and networking and forming parasocial relationships with your audience. That is the number one thing that you're going to be able to do to get ahead is making sure that you are connecting with your audience. You're turning on the camera, you're getting in the rooms and doing all of the things, girl. Shout out to Demetra Honey. Yes, ma'am. She says, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Enjoy conquering cocktails. Yes. Conquering cocktails is, oh, I'm so excited about the future of it because now I'm getting to the point now where I've hosted them in different cities, just kind of like trying and gathering information and seeing how do we do it, how does it work, and it's going good. So I'm excited to like find my foot here in Dallas because y'all know I moved to Dallas from Memphis like 12 years ago. So yeah, I appreciate you so much for coming, girl. We had a good time. Danielle says she's re-engaging with her email list. Girl, listen, honey, baby, them email lists. Woo, child, baby, bless it. An email list is such a good asset, but I be like, damn, you gotta keep up. So, but cheers to you, Danielle, for re-engaging with your email list, girl. It's so important to be able to hit people from, different spots, which is something that the last 4 months of 2025, I'm literally going so hard on. It's just making sure that I have, and I talked about this on the show yesterday, like multiple doors in order to interact with me, right? So it started off this thing where I started going live back in 2020, right? It's 2025. I just started going live. That was a door. Then I was like, okay, well, let me get an email list and start engaged. Okay, that's a door. It's like, okay, well, let me get a podcast. That's a door. Okay, well, let me start speaking. That's a door. Okay, well, let me host Conquering Cocktails. Okay, that's a door. So I'm kind of like building my ecosystem of what it looks like for me to have all of these doors open, but girl, to have them all open at the same time strategically. Yeah, Demetria said the struggle, honey. Okay, cheers to the girls on the email list, baby. You know I'll be back up in that thing like I never left. But happy Tuesday. Let me know what you're conquering this week inside your business in the comments. And today we are talking about being bold and being resilient. And I thought about this topic because this morning I was planning stuff out for me and my team for this week. And I looked at what we're doing and I wrote down all of my goals for September. Like y'all know, I always use Monday.com to like track everything in my business. I've been talking about Monday.com for forever. I love them. This is, I won't say it's sponsored by them, but we are a partner with Monday. But I love them so much, especially for girls who work by themselves or you just have a few people or one person. Like it is thebomb.com. But what I was filling out my month was my KPIs. And y'all know I always talk about this concept, even from like my HR work when I was working in HR and stuff. Everything was done via KPI. That is how good we're doing and what determines if we do good. So I was mapping out my KPIs, like how many people do we need to reach out to? How many pitches do we need to send this month? How many consultations do we need to book? How many people need to show up for their consultations? How many of those consultations need to convert? Like, I need to do more podcasts. So how many podcasts are we pitching? How many are responding? How many are ghosting us? Like really understanding my business ecosystem on another level. And it is, I'm not going to say it's awesome. It's awesome to watch your business grow. So I'm just kind of like, I was thinking about that as I was kind of like building out this whole ecosystem and how we're going to do it and stuff. I was like, this is bold. Like, this is bold. Like, we're literally getting lists of organizations and just going one by one. Like, we're Conquer. What's up? Like, it's very bold. But you know what? I feel like as I watch people who are, I don't want to say doing the things that I want to do per se, but as I listen to podcasts and like sales training and stuff like that literally all day. But as I listen to like their mindset, a lot of it is just like being bold enough to do it. I was even listening to somebody do a case study on Alex Hormozi and his launch strategy, right? And I was like, it was just bold. It was just big and bold. And I just think about even in my business, how many times I've missed out on something because I thought I was being bold, but I wasn't being bold for real. Like how many people even in my network right now, and I don't know if you can relate to this if you think about the people you know, even the people that are in my network right now. Like people in my network, not like I follow them on Facebook, but people in my network where like I could text them right now. And I haven't leveraged a bold enough attitude to be like, let's go. And I can't even say it's because I'm fearful. But like I was saying, once you start building the business and you understand, oh, this thing ain't just content, that's just one little small piece of it. You understand how many plates that you have to have in the air at one time. You've got to be bold with each of them. And it's a lot to grow into. So that's been my journey of just kind of like growing into that and stuff. Demetria says bold, honey. Incredibly bold. And you know, y'all tell me what y'all think about this too. I only work with women, of course, but mostly Black women. And I love how in our space, each Tuesday night call, we open up the Conquer Club. And y'all know, everybody who's ever been on a call, y'all already know how I start off my calls, or even how I started off Conquering Cocktails. What did you conquer? Like, brag on yourself, like, turn up, like, be bold and tell me what you've conquered. And I have to normalize, or it's normalized in my community, that if you did something, like you need to turn yourself up. Like truly turn yourself up. Why do I say that? Why do I say turn yourself up? Every time like I do something in my business and I look back like, yeah, did that. Like it fuels a level of I'm not gonna say confidence because this isn't confidence. It builds trust with myself. I build trust with myself. So then I can make faster decisions, sharper decisions. And you know what I'm also learning, friend? I was talking to one of my clients about this, and I was talking about what's up, y'all? I was talking about this idea of even when you're talking about your business, I really, really, really conquered away from what I think people might think or I think they might say, and I'm like, what is the data? Like, what does the data tell me? And that's why I always talk about this idea of having a home base inside your business. Y'all know if y'all in the Conquer Club, y'all know I talk about having a home base because I used to hear people say track the data, and I used to be like, data, good. Where the dollar at? Where the dollars at? You talking about data? But now I understand what they're talking about because now you know how we talk about like multiple entries of point for our business or just handling a lot for our business. Realizing social media is just one little plate. We need a lot of other stuff to be able to move around and make money. Like as we go into that, I want to understand, hey, for every 200 people we talk to, 45 of them respond, 8 of them book a consultation, 3 of them show up, and 2 of them close at an average of $3,000. Like that's the level of like when I say data, that's why I talk about that home base because that's how I want you to understand your business. Even if you're a bartender, if I'm a bartender and I go to an event with 150 guests and 75% of them drink, I know that I could sell 36 drinks per hour. You when you understand your business like that, for one, I'm forced to move differently off the rip. I'm not, if I know my business that way, I'm not going to say my sales strategy this week is to post on Instagram every day because it doesn't tell me how the needle starts to move in my business. And this is where we can learn a lot. Shout out to a good 9 to 5. Hello. This is where we can learn a lot from our jobs. Because a lot of us, when we've had jobs, we've had some type of metric to hit. Even if you work in the drive-through at McDonald's, when I worked in the drive-through at Popeyes, soon as you pull up, it's a little timer that go off. It's a metric that says, hey, if we can get customers out of here in 60 seconds, they're 45% more satisfied. The return rate is 70%. And like it's all a part of a system or an ecosystem and an understanding about your business that is on another level and beyond just understanding or thinking, if I post, I get this. Okay. So when we talk about our message today, it's Tuesday, about being bold and resilient. I want to challenge us to think beyond what we're doing right now and today. Because you know it's a next level. Okay? I know I'm going into mine. And really seeing your like I was talking to one of my clients and shout out to her because she's doing so awesome. And she was we were talking through this exact same thing for her. She was like, but I feel like people won't. I was like, has anybody ever told you that? She was like, no. I was like, okay. Like the data tells you when you do this, it happens. So don't scare yourself out of it. And I can think of so many times where I've had an opportunity in my hand, whether that's sales, whether that's a connection, whether that's speaking, I mean, anything. And I just simply dropped the ball or didn't respond. I'm just being honest because I was like, well, I don't think I got enough. I don't got it together enough to be responding to nothing like that. I've even had it when they've come to me. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should respond to that. Like, I don't think, or I overthink it so much. Now it's 6 days later, and I'm like, I can't email these folks back 6 days. Like, this girl, girl, please. I have to get myself together. But this is all a part of the journey, though. This is part of the journey. And I feel like if you're like me and you feel that way, like you already own the song. If you have that self-awareness. Yeah. So happy Tuesday, y'all. I'm gonna reset a little bit. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Wake Up and Conquer Show channel. If you listen to the first time, let me know. But I really just want us to have a space to just talk through conquering every day, conquering this massive fear of being seen, right? Even if you're super ambitious like me, Like when you're going to the a next level of people, or whether that's being more vulnerable with your audience, or showing up more, or speaking more, or hosting your own events, it's a new level of being seen. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we have a space where you can understand what that feels like, tips for you to be able to grow through that. And of course, y'all know we have a super bomb community and events to be able to support you with that too, right? So, okay, I think y'all, oh, it's only 11:19. I was like, I'm gonna feel like I did a super short show today. And they go through in something else. Should have wrote down some more notes. I was like, I'm gonna do a quick show because I need to get back to my onboarding for my team this week. Okay, but I do. And I gotta go to physical therapy later, girl. Y'all already know how that's been. I've been going to physical therapy for 3 weeks from this dang on car accident. Yeah. I think that I'm also just kind of understanding too. I talked about this a little bit on the show yesterday about what honoring but challenging my own capacity. I don't want to say I'm struggling with that, but it's something that I'm really conquering and going through. Because here's the thing that I'm going through, okay? I really, 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 really am at the point now where I probably can give myself more grace about not being a 24/7 standing on the corner hustling. Like I'm giving myself like a lot of grace around that. But I also feel like the natural versions of me that make me an amazing visionary and stuff, they require me to like challenge myself. They require me to have something to figure out. Like, are y'all like that too? Like in my business, that's why I be like, baby, if you're an entrepreneur, you do like a little drama and chaos in your life. I ain't gonna lie. That's why you probably real good to your partner and they like you because we like a little chaos. Got to if you got a business. But I think that like the challenge of figuring it out is the best part. I don't know. But I'm understanding how to give myself grace when I have obvious moments where I fail, right? Obvious moments where it doesn't go the way I expected it. Like I think that like this idea of, hey, when I go to the next level, will I fail? That's not a thing for me. It's like when I go to the next level, I'm going to fail in some capacity, and not fail in a way where I messed up or I wasn't smart enough to figure it out, but fail in a way where there's going to be something to learn because you got to, okay, so if you trying to figure out how to do, 450 a year, there's going to be a failure in that because it's got to be something you learn. So now you understand how to do 750 in a year. Like, you know what I mean? Cheryl says, hey, Deb. What's up, Cheryl? Hey, girl. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. I love you so much, girl. Cheryl gave me a great connection that changed so much for me. So I appreciate you, honey girl. It's good to see you. But yeah, I was just kind of talking about this line that even I'm dealing with. Is this idea of giving yourself grace to not have it all together, and then simultaneously challenging yourself to think big, dream big, move big, execute big. Like I can't say how do you balance them both, but how I'm just figuring out how they coexist together for me in a way that doesn't burn me out. Hey Rashana, happy Tuesday, girl. It's our day of the week. Tuesdays are my long days and I love it because I get so much stuff done. And I'm so excited about this plan that we got for the fall that I literally been working on since spring. To just see it coming to play is just awesome. And so we have two more conquering cocktails sitting in the background too. But y'all know I can't be announcing stuff prematurely. I get too happy and summer fall through and I'll be like, child, see. But we'll be back outside this year for sure. So hey y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna reset a little bit, y'all, because I want y'all to drop in the comments what y'all gonna be conquering this week. Because I did start the show today really talking about this idea of being bold and being resilient. And I don't mean being bold and being resilient. Like I was just listening to this podcast that I love listening to. Shout out to Ashley Kirkwood, and she was talking about how it's necessary. She talked about this concept, and Yes, it's true, but it just made me think of so many other situations. She was like, a viral video a lot of time like needs negative comments. And I was like, okay, that's true. We know that. But it just also made me think about like the next levels that I'm getting to. I will be crazy to set myself up to think that they don't come with trials. And not that obviously y'all know I ain't no negative thinker, right? But I'm like, I don't know, am I getting crazy in entrepreneurship or something? Like I'm loving how the challenges come and how sharper I can get to press through them. You know what I mean? That's kind of how what is showing up like for me. Like just getting sharper enough to push through the trial. Something happen, some you just be like, oh, okay, whoop, well, hey, it is what it is, and you just keep moving. Like that has just become like an invisible superpower that I have between me and me. Like for real. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that for business because, girl, you need some tough skin. You need some tough skin. And even when we went to Conquering Cocktails this weekend, we talked about this idea of like having, yes, girl, I love Ashley Kirkwood. I got to go and get out to speak your way to cash. Okay. She said, I love Ashley Kirkwood and her content. Those podcast episodes make you make moves in your business, baby. She make you do your thing. And I have done so much in my business just from her free YouTube content. Like for real. She's good. She's good. Her content is good. The way that she teaches it is good. The way that she understands the back end is just good. And I think that that's also when we talk about being bold and resilient, it's not just showing up bold and resilient. I talk about that all the time. I talk all the time about being bold, being resilient with your marketing, but I'm also talking about being bold and being resilient on that back end, which is where Ashley has also really shined for me because as I see her ecosystem of her business, I'm like, dang, she must have her team got to be tight. Like being bold with the back end of your business. And when I say back end, I don't mean getting this system and getting this system and getting this system. I just mean like being bold with just like repetitive sales systems and strategies. Ashley has changed the game. Like my whole 2025 has literally been lit. So shout out to you, Ashley girl. I hope you listen, honey. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the rest of this year, especially for the ladies that are in the Conquer Club, especially for the ladies that are coming to Conquering Cocktails. Oh yeah, when we were Conquering Cocktails this past Saturday, we kind of talked about this idea of having a fear of rejection and that. And you tell me what you think down in the comments. Do you think having a fear of rejection is kind of something that all of us are born with as a human, or do you think that that's something that we kind of developed along our way? Right. Let me know what you think. For real. She says, come on, speak your way to cash. I'll be there. Oh, yeah. How can she attend? Oh, girl, you know the people? Yes. Thank you. I love Ashley and her stuff. So it's so good. But we were talking about this fear of rejection, and we were just talking about how it shows up, obviously, in our business, right? Where when we're having an opportunity in our hands, and I share an example of how a big opportunity came my way. It wasn't this year, child, but I don't know if it wasn't last year either. But it's one that kind of sits on my few little shelves of regret, where a big opportunity reached out to me, and I was so frozen because I feel like I didn't have the right things to say. I didn't have the right assets. I wouldn't have had whatever they would have been looking for. I told myself that I ain't gonna have it. I'm not gonna be good enough for this. I told myself that. And I was like, damn, we ain't doing that no more. Right. And I always talk about my ladies in the community about telling like the same thing that I did, right? Telling myself that I'm not going to be good enough for the reply. I'm not going to be good enough for the opportunity, or they'd probably want somebody more experienced. Like, I can't believe I was telling myself that. I seriously cannot believe I was telling myself about that. And this is why I always encourage all of y'all to share what you've conquered, share what you've done, share what you're up to. Because if you're a visionary like me, we move so fast, we don't even realize the stuff that we've done. And it also hit me at Conquering Cocktails Saturday because I was sitting there. I was like, welcome to Conquering Cocktails. We've done this event in Dallas, in Memphis, in Atlanta, in Chicago, in New Orleans, and in Birmingham. And they were like, wow. And I thought to myself, oh, yeah, that is really dope. But when we're a visionary, we're moving fast, I like moving in the fast lane. We don't realize how dope it is until we say it out loud, until we give ourselves like just chance to, like a chance to just like dance in it and bathe in it. That's why, man, I just encourage us to be bold. And I'm talking to myself too. But when I was writing out my week this morning, I was like, this is bold. And I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. And I'm so here for it, even if we haven't been perfectly bold in the past. Because people will be like, well, how do I just start just turning up like that? There is no permission slip to wait for. There is, you just start setting the tone. And that's how it becomes a thing. You just start setting the tone. She said, "Got to toot your own horn sometimes, baby. We ain't no baby." And that could be a couple of different things, child. We can go deep on that, but that could come from. I've heard that some people feel like that's a learned behavior. Child, I wish that I was encouraged to be just more. I was always a little like a little one too. Even as a kid, I just knew that I was a leader. But I don't know. I just think that, man, if that was nourished a lot more. But I mean, hey, woulda, coulda, shoulda, whatever. Everything's still perfect. But yeah, honey, toot your own horn. And in business, you have to. You have to. You got to toot your own horn because everything starts with us. Whether it's just us working in our business, whether we got one VA, whether we got two VAs, whether we got a team of 10, like everything starts and ends with us. It's our responsibility to talk about our mission, how great it is, how amazing it is, the things that we've done, the things that we want to do with our business, how we're impacting the community, the benefits, how many people we've helped, how many people we want to help. Right. So even if you have a credit repair business that you're starting on the Instagram page, you can say, I've helped 3 of my family members. And for the next year, my mission is to help 200 other people. Like, those aren't humongous numbers, but just a matter of this is you giving us permission to join in. This is you inviting us in on the community, on the brand, on the mission. Right. Hey, speak your way to cash team. We love y'all. I need to get my ticket and go. I was so mad when I missed the one for Dallas last time, but Ashley gonna know I'm coming. So thank you. I'll be sure to click on that and see when the next one is, girl. But yes. But yeah, even it doesn't have to be a grand example, right? But and this is why we talk about this mission too, this idea of making sure that when we're showing up, there is a line. You get to pick where this line is of being open, like with your business, like talking about it, showing the people, letting them see what you do, letting them know what you don't do. How can they come support you? How can they be around you? What if they only got $0? What if they got $10? What if their budget is high ticket? Like, invite us in. And I'm learning that for myself this year so much on another level. And imagine what happens when you start sharing it. Girl, yeah, everything changes for sure. Okay. So this week is Tuesday, ladies. Let's talk about what we're going to conquer this week inside our business. I know Danielle shared earlier she's going to be re-engaging her email list, but a couple of things for you to think about conquering this week inside your business. Y'all already know the number one thing that I'm going to say, which is turn on that camera. Turn on that camera and talk to people, whether 0 people watching, 2 people watching, or 200 people watching. Okay. And the reason why I always encourage people to turn on the camera, not so that you can go live and feel good about yourself and 18 people was watching me or whatever, but it's the only thing live is content in real time. Instead of you taking a reel and going out to a restaurant and posing and doing this and say, hey, my name is such and such, you're just creating content in real time. Okay. So this is especially better for the girls where there's 43 drafted reels, right? Because they need to be edited and perfected and stuff. That's cool. I'm not mad at that. But if your business needs momentum right now, which I completely understand, I say, baby, turn on that camera. Okay. Even if three people watch you, you DM three of them, and one person engages in the conversation, that's a lead, and you keep it going. Okay. So when we talk about conquering this week, y'all know my number one thing: turn on that camera, turn on that camera, turn on that camera, turn on the camera. Okay, turn on the camera and talk. That's what we started doing in 2020 to just start building community, and it has snowballed. Okay. So turn on the camera. The second thing, and we've been talking about this inside the Conquer Club because I'm really challenging the ladies to make sure that we understand the future of authority and leadership and personal branding and where it's going. And the second thing is make sure that we're creating spaces where we are the leader. Okay. So go and collaborate with your friends. Go on and and kiss everybody else's ass and be in that community. But make sure that you are creating spaces where you are the leader. You are the teacher. You are the head honcho. You are giving out the expertise. Especially for those of us that are coaches, consultants, and service based. Demetra says, I'll be conquering these leads. I get leads, but don't reach out. So I have been catching up this week. Good for you, girl. Cheers to you for getting leads, and cheers to you for putting a good follow-up system in place this week. We understand, child. We definitely understand. But yeah, that money coming to follow up, girl. Yeah. So make sure that we're creating spaces where we are the head honcho. I don't care if you do sew-ins. I'll be have monthly maintenance meetings. Come learn how to maintain the sew in, what products to use, how to keep your edges flat, how to keep your edges from falling off, and how to have your hair looking flawless in between your sew in appointments. Like constantly the future of personal branding, leading community, like I'm telling you, baby. Create space where you get to say, hey, this is my knowledge, this is our story, this is what I do. You will build insane community and leads for your business for sure. And you don't necessarily have to turn into some type of coach or mentor. I'm not saying that. But whatever your expertise is, baby, give it space to shine. Even if it's 4 people on a Zoom room that cash after you $5. I don't care. I'm not saying, well, let me go build a sales page and let me go do that. No. I want you to start doing the work of gathering people. Okay. So those are 2 things that we can do this week if you want some more momentum. Okay. Those are 2 things that I would easily put on my own list. I'm just sharing what I would put on my own notes. The first thing would be turn on the camera, which a live stream is just doing content in real time. There's no perfect way to do it, but pick something that again positions you as a teacher. And that's the second thing, which is making sure you're creating situations where you are the head honcho in the room, you're the expert in the room, you're the teacher in the room. This ain't about putting nobody else on. This ain't about let me prove that I'm a like create a space where you're like, hey, come learn from me. Come see how I do it. Come see what I'm about. Like create a space for that inside of your business. Create a space like that. When I talk about being bold, I'm talking about being incredibly bold. And I remember when I was just had started going live, I was going live and stuff, but that was like the totality of it. I was just going live and just doing social media, and that was the totality of my business. I thought that I was like, that's the totality of my business. And the marketing coach I got, she was like, okay, this is not a business. She was like, you don't host no events, like you don't have no sales team. Like this is a social media page. So I was like, oh, you're right. So she was like, you finna start hosting an event. And she was brainstorming. She was like, all right, She was like, Deb, you like the drink? You like? She's like, okay, it's gonna be called Conquering Cocktails, and you're gonna do your first one. And what's coming up? What are all your people gonna be at? They're gonna be on Essence Festival. That's gonna be in New Orleans in a couple of weeks. Can you afford the plane ticket? Yep. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna have Conquering Cocktails. You're gonna have it in a couple of weeks. You're gonna start inviting people on your social. You're gonna start hosting this event in different cities. And I was like, ain't nobody gonna come see me. She was like, it's okay. Find a free restaurant, make it free, start inviting girls and see how I go. And that was in 2022. And here we are, 7 cities later. Just hosted one this past weekend. Being bold, creating spaces where, hey, come see me, come learn from me, which may be counterintuitive, but hey. Rashana says, I probably could just go live more. Honestly, I've been under you so long that I do these things already. Yep. Probably go live more than once a week and do more reels, like more camera time. Yep. For sure. And then Rashana, for you, I know, but I know you have the restriction with the different travel companies, but they could just learn so much from you about how to show up for a travel business. Girl, for real, you could really be out here. You already are, but saving even more people and just showing them how to sign up. Because for MLM, it like the idea of like doing shorts and TikToks and stuff like that. I know MLM has like restrictions a bit, some of them, well, most of them on how you can market. But the way that you can combine personal branding with like a network marketing company is just insane these days. For real. And Rashana's a good example of it. I just know like in the industry, once she elevates more, man, if she can touch any company she wants to, it's gonna pop for real. So, yep. Think about what you're gonna conquer this week. I know the big thing is y'all. It's about to be the end of 2025, which is crazy. I was playing in my Labor Day menu for my house. She said, "Yes, I'm working on that part too." Yep, you're gonna beast it out, girl, for sure. You really are. I was working on my Labor Day menu for the barbecue, girl. And so my uncle and them, they coming in town from Memphis because I know most of my family is back home still in Memphis. But nice portion of my cousins and stuff have moved here. So we're gonna have Labor Day cookout at our house on Monday, and I was getting my menu together and stuff, child. So I gotta get rid. I need to go to the store to get that actually, but I'm probably gonna do that Thursday, actually. But anyway, I said I to say the year is moving, child. You know, after Labor Day, it's gonna be time to turn on Mariah Carey and put up that tree. And if you don't like Mariah Carey and you don't think that's the greatest Christmas song ever, then I don't know what to tell you, girl. That's the only time I got to, girl. That's the only time other year I got to be a little cornball. But I'm excited about us working towards the end of the year with our businesses. We'll be going into the busy season of the holiday season in the shopping center, which I'm so excited, especially for the product-based girls, because this is your time of the year to shine around Black Friday, around Cyber Monday. I'm excited for y'all. So we'll be doing a lot of work to support that too as we get towards the holiday season. And then we'll be doing our best to make sure that we're keeping the Conquering Cocktails rolling so that we can get together too. So she said, I know the food setup would be nice. So don't forget to do a little video for us. Girl, thank you. I was literally yesterday. Y'all know my husband's a DJ here in Dallas. And so yesterday they were getting together because it was another one of the DJs. It was their birthday. And they get together on Monday nights because that's like the I think from my understanding, that's typically the night of the week that they really don't have gigs. Like that's probably like the only night of the week that don't nobody book. My husband really is like on a Monday. Other than that, folks be partying. And so they got together yesterday, and my hubby was like, well, I'm gonna get some pizza and stuff, everybody. I was like, pizza? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna do the food for them tonight. I was like, can I just do like a grazing table and stuff? And he was like, okay, child, I must have ran to Walmart. I'm gonna have to send you a picture of what I end up doing, girl. Baby, between 3 o'clock, I went to Walmart at 3 o'clock and we were getting there at 5 something, baby. I done made them some meatballs. I done made the whole grazing table, the spread, girl. And so the girl came up to me. She was like, "What's your Instagram?" I was like, "I could give it to you, but I don't do that for a living." She was like, "You don't do it like a catering?" I was like, "Girl, no. I just be doing this at the house for my family and my friends." She was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." Then the bartender, he thought that's what I did. I was like, "No, child, I just be doing this for fun, honey." But I'm gonna have to drop y'all some pictures on the one that I did yesterday. It was cute. It was a little Walmart collaboration. But I love going to get the stuff from the deli section at Aldi. Cause I feel like Aldi has like they little deli and cold section, like it's fire as far as all the stuff that you need for like a charcuterie board and stuff. Aldi be coming through, girl. But I ain't have enough time. I just had to run to the little neighborhood Walmart at the corner and put something together. They were so impressed. I was like, okay, y'all give me some really nice brownie points with bae. He was so proud. He was like, yeah. So it was fun. But I will do a video for Labor Day, girl. I'm gonna have it hooked up, friend. I love hosting so much. It is just truly one of my love languages. So I got my menu together for Labor Day. We're gonna do barbecue though. So I'm gonna do some beef and pork ribs. I'm gonna do some sausages, some burgers. I'm gonna grill some chicken. My sister gonna do some fried chicken. And I'm gonna do some baked beans. My cousin gonna do some corn and green beans. And I'm either gonna make this loaded potato dish that I do, or I will make like a lasagna or some spaghetti. So I'm about to see, we black child. We gotta have 4 meats and 5 carbs and 2 vegetables. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. My cousin is the baker, so she do all the desserts, and then of course I probably set up some type of like appetizer things where I do devil eggs and fruit and cheese and jam and stuff like that. So I'll probably do like a nice charcuterie board and appetizer spread. So that's it, girl. But I love hosting and stuff at the house. It's just something I love to do for fun so much. And even when like we were getting, I'm gonna just get all off on topic, but even when we were getting this house and I saw that, I was like, I want the biggest island y'all can build me. And he was like, we can make it 10 feet. I was like, perfect. So they put my island is 10 feet in my kitchen, and I love hosting on it. It's a dream. It's a dream. She said it's substance, girl. We got to have 5 carbs. We got to have 3 meats, 4 meats, and potatoes, spaghetti, beans, potato salad. Girl, for real. And a little green bean and a little cabbage in a little corner just to soak up the juice. Some yams, macaroni. We got to have all them carbs, girl. And about 4 different types of meat. Okay. For real. So I'm gonna let my cousin do the corn and green beans. She can get down. Y'all think I can get down. My sister and my cousin and my aunties. Oh, baby. I know everybody say that, but for real, they get down. So but I love cooking and hosting and stuff. I always talk about how I just do it for fun because I feel like as a business girl, and we talked about this in the Conquer Club the other week. I feel like as a business girl, one of the things that I've learned so much is to make sure that I have something in my life that I enjoy that I have not monetized. Because once you start like getting good at your passion and like doing it for a living like this, I love this. I could go live for 8 hours a day and talk about conquering and stuff. Like I love this. But because I've monetized it, it puts a little stress on it. Okay. So I have to have like, do I love to do this? Does it make my belly flutter? Absolutely. But it's my job too, right? So I have to make sure, and I always encourage the ladies to make sure that we have things in our life that we don't monetize, that we simply love doing for fun. Like even with the charcuterie thing and hosting and stuff, people like, oh, they was like, they standing there trying to convince me. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, but they don't even know me. They don't know I got a business. They don't know nothing about me, right? They was like, you should make this a business. You would do. And I'm thinking to myself, child. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. If I would turn it into a business, I would turn it into a business. Okay. We got to do the whole shebang. But I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just truly enjoy doing it. And I get the sentiment. Honestly, I truly do. But I think for my mental health, it's so good for me to have stuff that I'm really good at, that or something that I'm just not good at, like ballet. I was not cold at ballet. Like I was literally leaving ballet class, like literally throwing up, like for real, because it was so much stress on my body. But I loved having something to get better at and experiment with and have interest in and just have in my life as a part of my identity and personality that's not monetized, that's not a business. that's not about capturing it for content. The minute I start doing that, now all of it has to be content. And me going to the store, it's just like, no, I'm not doing that. So, but I get it. I truly do. And I would be the same way with somebody. I would be like, you should have this as a business. But I know as a business girl, have your business, but always have a hobby or interest or something you enjoy that you don't monetize, to make sure that our entire identity and what we truly love is not just wrapped up in that thing that we have to put blood, sweat, and tears into for it to grow. You know what I'm saying? I think that's so important for us to make sure that we have a hobby and or interest for real, that you ain't got to grind for, and you can just suck at it, and you can just get better at it, and you can just enjoy it. Okay. And that's my thing, hosting the charcuterie, the grazing tables, and then also like makeup and stuff too. People like, you do makeup? I be like, girl, absolutely not. No, ma'am. She says, definitely agree with that. Yes, girl. Because working is not my whole identity. Okay? Because, friend, I'll be outside. Last night I was just out. I was supposed to do some work, girl. My husband was like, you want to go? I was like, hell yeah, I'm going. Shoot. My makeup was already done. I got my hair braided. I was like, yes, I'm outside. Okay? So, all right. Happy Tuesday. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today so much. Please tap the screen, share it with somebody. Y'all know they don't do no more boost the algorithm in my favor. So we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time, noon for the East Coast girls. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. And y'all already know the vibes when y'all wake up tomorrow. Make sure y'all conquer something. And I'm Deb, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye, ladies.
Me, the Conquer Club is a sisterhood. I didn't know a lot of these ladies. I have truly made connections, real friendships, bonds. I've cried with these ladies. It elevated my business so much, just putting a foot on the gas and stomping on necks, like literally. I'm really proud to be a part of this space, and I think this is what entrepreneurs need.